Hello everybody, this is Chris from C&O Farms. I am standing in my new art studio slash office. I'm not quite finished renovating this, but this basically was a large garage in a 1,200 square foot cinder block building. And my wife has her office on the other side of those double doors where she does all her sewing and art and crafts and soap making and whatnot. But for me, this is my office. This is where I'm hoping to do a little bit of pottery and just some hand building of pottery items. But we'll see. I still have to get a kiln. I still have to get a wheel, which will go around in this area. This large ping pong table in the middle is nothing more than just a large work table right now. It actually will be gone at some point because I really don't need it. It's just too big for the space and for what I need to do. This actually used to be, I don't know if I did any videos before, but this used to be where we had our post-processing facility and our walk-in cooler, which is that little room right there. We'll go over there for a second. Right now it's full of tools and junk from just working on this renovation in here. But as you can see, it's got spray foam walls. This actually used to be our walk-in cooler for the farm. And right now it's just a whole bunch of junk. So just ignore that and we'll close that off and you won't even see that again. So this was going to be a bathroom. Decided that we're probably not going to put a bathroom in here because our future plans in the next year or so is to actually build a commercial kitchen and have another building just on the other side of that wall. Roughly the same size as this building, but it will be a metal building. So what I'm doing in here right now, because it is wintertime and there's not a whole lot going on out, on the farm and in the ground. So I've been going through all of my seeds, making a plan for what I'm going to plant and how often I'm going to plant and how many times I'm going to turn a bed over. We'll see if that actually happens this year, but you never know. Sometimes it does. So, we're going to be planting a whole lot less than what we did before. So we're looking at, things like beets and bok choy and Hawkeye turnips because those are very popular at the farmer's market. We have kale, spinach, arugula, radish, cabbage, fennel, leeks, parsley, tomatoes, bell peppers, green onions, cucumbers, squash, ground cherries, our heirloom garlic that we grow, and of course the nice scapes that come off of that. These are just some of the soil trays, the plug trays there that I'm going to be planting into over the next few weeks. There's probably going to be about twice that over the next month and a half or so because I have to get ready for planting transplants that I'm going to sell at the farmer's market. So just wanted to give everybody a quick little studio tour. This is my office. This is where I, wind down and do my things and just hang out. It's going to be my art studio, so I can, make pottery and I enjoy doing that. Haven't done a whole lot. I built this nice little shelf system to store all of my books and magazines and awards and newspaper articles and whatnot. This is the art cart that has a lot of the art supplies on it for painting and so forth. So, but this is really just a quick little simple tour of this space. It's about 600 square feet, maybe 580 square feet. It's this ceiling I did with basically the dog ear picket fence boards. It was a very cheap option and it was a whole lot easier than trying to struggle with big 4x8 sheets of sheetrock. So as everybody knows, those things are not very light. So, yeah, that's about it. You know, there's not a whole lot going on in the farm. We'll take a walk down there real quick and see what's going on down there. So, it's kind of a mess still down here. We had a bunch of trees cut down. I don't know if you can see them. The sun's probably too bright in that area. But we had a lot of trees cut down over in that area. That's going to be our orchard. That's where we're going to set up our fruit orchard over the next year or so. And still have to work on this compost building. As you can see, you've probably seen it in a number of videos. It still hasn't been, nothing's been done with it yet. So, you know, it is what it is. This place is a mess. I'm still trying to clean it up and keep it clean and figure out what's going on. But turn the radio down in here. I don't want to get hit with copyright violations. You know how that is. But as you can see, I actually harvested a lot of this spinach, and it sold really well at the farmer's market. I didn't get a whole lot, but people seem to like it. It's already growing back. Now that was pretty much cut down to nothing, and it's already got a few extra new leaves and stuff on it. I didn't harvest any of this kale here. I'll be harvesting that pretty soon. But I mean, look at the lettuce. It is really pumping along. It's growing a lot. Still not ready to harvest. Although I do have a lot of customers that want this lettuce. They love this lettuce. But we'll see. Quite a few little holes here that need to be replaced with some new lettuce. I've got some new lettuce started and it's almost ready to go. Probably another week or so before I can put it in the remaining 3 troughs. So you'll see a whole lot of paper or plastic bags here. These are actually Leland cyprus that we are working on propagating for a friend. You probably can't see because of the mini greenhouse, but it's a nice little Leland cypress in there that we propagated this past weekend. There's about 30 of those, and then there's some cedar. He wanted some cedar trees also, and there's about 10 of those. So, yeah, I mean, there's no telling how long it's going to take. It's usually about 3 months before you actually can really check to see if they've or if they formed any roots. But it's a simple propagation technique that you can do for a Leland cypress. And you know, if you have one, you really just any time throughout the year you can take a cutting that's about 8-10 inches long on some of the newer growth and strip off the lower 2 inches or so of limbs and needles, and you just simply put some rooting hormone on that cut end and place it in some soil, some potting soil, or you know, just some type of potting mix, whatever you might use, and just keep them watered and keep them you know, out of super freezing cold temperatures. So the little plastic bag here just keeps the humidity in, so you don't have to water them as often. Plus it protects them in this cold environment during the wintertime. Even though this greenhouse is unheated, this plastic will actually give a couple degrees of protection even if it's freezing inside here. So it just helps a little bit. You know, we'll see how it does. In about 3 months you should have some roots. If you tug on it just a little bit, if you feel resistance, then you probably have some roots growing. Just keep them growing. If they turn brown, obviously they're probably dead. If they come right out of the soil when you do that little tug test after a few months, then they're probably not going to root. So just toss them and start over. It's a pretty simple process. It's cheap because you just have to have a tree to cut some of the limbs off of. So I recommend anytime. Fruit trees, figs. Figs are really good for propagating. They're really easy to propagate. If you do it in the wintertime, you'll have a better chance, because if there's any leaves on the little limbs that you cut, then they're probably going to die and before the roots grow, and they're going to actually take some of that energy away from, you know, forming the roots. So I would definitely recommend doing it in the wintertime, which is January, February time frame is usually the best time for me. I usually have pretty good success with, I don't know, I might do 30 or 40 and I might end up with, you know, 15 or 20 that actually take. So, you know, that's just something to try. You know, it's always something to do on a farm, and you know, you just want to keep trying and keep learning and keep experiencing what plants want to do, and that's grow. They definitely want to grow. So that's about it. 10 minutes for this video, 11 minutes. It's pretty long. It's longer than most of my videos. But if you like it, subscribe, hit that like button. Lets me know that you're enjoying these videos. If there's anything that you want to see, if you're anything that you want me to try and work on, you know, filming and just showing how to, you know, whether it's how to do something, how to plant something, how to plant seeds, how to, you know, plant out transplants, preparing beds, anything like that, just, you know, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can put together something for you. Like I said in all my videos, this is not something that I do for a living. This is just something I do for fun, just to show what's going on the farm, and just hopefully give a little bit of information to people. So like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you set the notifications so you can get notified when I do new videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks.